Coming to you from the Black Swan Media Studios, this is Fireside Chats, talking to the real difference makers in the world. Now, here is your host, John Crump.
Hi, everyone. It is Thursday. Sorry, I am a little late, a couple minutes late. I got right into my writing. If you don't know, I write more than just news and breaking news. I write some fiction, and right now I am in the Amazon Vela program, which they're doing kind of like serialized novels where you get like a little piece every week. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a head start on that, and I needed to get my stuff over to my editor. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist with MLN News, the best damn website on the planet, where I investigate the ATF, FBI, and all the agencies and organizations that want to violate your God-given and constitutionally protected right, because the rights come from God and not, or whatever you want to, the universe, whatever you want to believe, and not the government. The Constitution tells the government to leave you alone. That's why it's called a document of negative liberties. We are brought to you today by Tusk. Tusk is the only cryptocurrency on the market.
Proudly sponsored.
Pro-gun cryptocurrency on the market, that is.
Proudly sponsored by TUSC, the only cryptocurrency designed with the firearms market in mind, with 3-second processing times. It's the fastest cryptocurrency on the planet. With lower transaction fees than traditional credit cards. It's perfect for your e-commerce needs. For gun guys, by gun guys. Visit TUSC.network for more information and join the digital revolution.
I see one of the channel members in there right now. Hi, DJ Play Nice. We are also sponsored by Black Swan Tactical, where you can get your Black Swan Tactical gear, including the Flying Rich set, who is basically the co-host of the show. He's not going to be on every show. He's going to pick the shows he wants, but he's being paid. So therefore, I'm his boss, and I can fire him. All right, here you go, Black Swan Tactical.
Black Swan Tactical, your number one source for 2A streetwear. With shirts, mugs, hats, patches, flags, and more. There's always something to help you rep the 2A community. All proceeds go back into our projects. Viewers and listeners can take an additional 10% off with code CRUMPY. Unapologetically pro-gun, pro-liberty, and pro-freedom gear for the front lines of the culture war.
Okay, this is very, very cool. You can also help me out a lot by becoming a channel member, just like DJ Play Nice out there, and help me make content. Or you can go to patreon.com/John Crump, and we can hook up there, and you can, not hook up that way, but we'll talk about. I also have a Discord, which Walt is actually in my Discord. You can hit that up below. So let's go ahead and bring on Rich. Let's see, my decibels up a little bit. Okay, how does this sound? DJ Play Nice, is this better? Sorry, I have what's called I'll fix it. Never mind. It's too hard to explain. But it's a little cloud lifter box, which is malfunctioning. So I might just go ahead and pull that down. Is that better, DJ Play Nice? Better. Let me know. Well, let me bring on my guest, and then we'll just talk about it and see what is going on here. I think I'm only at, I don't know. All right. Hi, Rich.
How's it going? I want to just announce that now that John Crump is paying me, I am a Tusk multimillionaire.
Yeah, you are a
multimillionaire.
Yeah. If the level's better out there for you guys, how does level sound to you, Rich?
Well, you sound quieter. The audio, the
I'm okay
pre-recorded
there.
audio was loud.
All right.
But you
The
sound good.
pre-recorded. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's one of those days, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and bring on our guest of the day, and
And we're going to talk football, right?
No.
No.
Look at that logo. That logo is badass. Hi, Walt. This is Walt Anderson. He has a YouTube page. You can see his page down below. He has about 800 subscribers, but his content is really, really good. And what makes his content good is not like the flashiness or whatever. It's actually the substance of his videos. So when I started watching his videos, because honestly, before I saw you in the Discord, I didn't look at your videos at all. Then I started watching your videos. I was like, damn, this is really good. I want to have him on the show. So yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I just try to hit stuff from a different angle. I think everyone kind of brings in something unique to the table, right? Like we all have different backgrounds, experience, like skills that we learn, whatever. So I figure I like guns, I like philosophy, I like studying. I'm disagreeable. Let's go argue about stuff on the internet for guns. Like let's make it happen. And that's been working okay, so keep a good thing going.
Arguing on the internet? There's people that disagree with? I don't understand.
G-Web says your wall of books is possibly fake.
Oh, yeah. I'll throw in different green screen backdrops. And if I lean back here long enough, you can see 100% disclosure. It's because I haven't done laundry or made my bed today. So it's just all right back there. So
see, I just built a studio in my house. That's what you need to do, man. Build a studio.
It's California, we can't afford the real estate. We're all renters out here, So
California. Oh my God.
Wait. Why do we have a guy from California on the show? You didn't tell me he was from California.
He's part of the underground, man. We're trying to start a revolution out there.
Oh yeah. No, we got to flip. We got to flip Democrats. I think we got to start by flipping a lot of the leftist center people in America. I'm using that American
out of helicopters.
Yeah. Well, I was as opposed to going full Pinochet, I was going to say let's start winning their votes and maybe let's get some politicians in here with a lot of the kind of backing of a lot of the more populist left-leaning groups in America, and let's see those people start to promote firearms or not win a seat. That's what I'd like to do. So that's going to be a very long-term goal, a very difficult thing to do, but I think it's possible and I think it's worth trying. So
I should put a green screen behind you and just start throwing out random images.
Do it.
I want to make an announcement before I get off topic a little bit. Either tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, because I've been working on my fiction project that I got to get done. And you guys don't know what my pen name is. Maybe I'll release a book or something without my pen name. And you guys are like, wow, what the hell? But
is your fiction project about like some octogenarian idiot getting elected president on a stolen election?
No, it's like a horror type.
That would be, right?
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. No, it's a horror thing. You're right. I try to keep everything separate. You I don't know. I might release something under my own
John,
name.
just so I can interrupt you one more time before you get into anything factual or important, does your wife get annoyed when you walk around the house with that belt?
Well, it stays in the studio. I'm actually going to order a thing so I can put it up behind me. I'm going to walk into, I got to meet with some Congress people next week. So I'm just going to walk in there with the belt on.
Heck yeah.
Feel like I'm the heavyweight champion of journalism, bitch. What now? Okay, but yeah, talking about journalism, a couple different announcements. I have another project coming up soon with it's going to be a t-shirt shop. How JSD Supply thinks I sleep with the belt on. I do. It's going to be a t-shirt shop. I really, really wish I could say who the person who is actually running. I'm basically like a figurehead because the industry this person works in. If I said this person's name, you guys would be like, "What the hell?" But he works in like a very liberal industry. So, and so basically, we're partnering on the t-shirt shop, and he's going to be like the financial backer, put everything up out, and all I gotta do is have the company in my name.
Cool.
He doesn't want to be blacklisted from the industry he works in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the entertainment industry. I just say that.
Adult entertainment, right?
No,
The best kind.
not that type.
We're all adults, right? I mean,
Hey man, I work for GOA, not FPC. So there.
Oh my God.
There's that and another thing. I have a story coming out probably next week. It is going to be the next Fast and Furious.
No.
Yes.
Bring it on, man. I'm ready.
I'm not saying what it is, but it's yeah. Put it this way. I have Congress people that know I'm writing it, and they want to speak to me about it.
Dude, do you have all of your stories escrowed and ready to email to, like, Fox News and Breitbart, so in case you disappear?
No, they just steal my stories.
No, people steal your stories, John?
Yeah. Although I've been on the front cover of Drudge.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't read that anymore since they went commie.
Well, here you go. Fast and Furious. You know what the website broke Fast and Furious, right?
No, I don't recall.
AmmoLand.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
David Cordella. Cardrella. I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah, he broke it on AmmoLand.
Oh, cool.
We never get credit for it. But yeah, it first appeared on AmmoLand.
I mean, you are the YouTube whisperer. You are the news whisperer for like
the gun whisperer.
I think 99% of the news that I've seen from major channels, and that's a hasty approximation, but if it's a big gun channel, it seems to have come from a John Crump document. I've noticed a trend,
Yeah. I mean, I thought like most of the guys are really, really cool. There's one I really hate because he told me to go pound sand. But yeah, I'm gonna blow him up soon.
I've had
literally. Not literally. Yeah, you do a lot of good work though, man.
I'm not hampered by these how would we call it? I'm not hampered by these requirements of evidence that you are, I get to just say, hey, I'm an opinion commentator and I'm a philosophy guy. I get to make arguments. I don't care what type of evidence it is. I just care that it works. If I can make an argument, that's all that really matters. And then we just, look at the truth of the premises. So if it's circumstantial evidence, hey man, still evidence. Yeah. So different requirements, between disciplines, but it's kind of useful. It lets you hit different things from your armchair. And I kind of like that, but
yeah, I got.
Well, can I ask you? I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Hold on. Another channel member, Joe Drag. Yeah, JSD. I already told you who it was, man.
Oh, JSD's getting the inside scoop.
He already had you had the inside scoop too. I told 28EDU, you and JSD at the same time. And for some reason, only 28EDU remembers. Yeah, but let's talk about Walt. Other than my breaking story that's going to blow up the internet, and I'm probably not going to get credit. And some channels like, oh, I got this leaked information.
So Walt, I was just kind of looking at your channel, and I saw you had an RN50 video. I didn't watch the video. I figured I'd just ask you about it. And what?
Oh yeah.
So what was the title of the video first off?
Oh gosh, I think it was something like a review of the Mark Serbu or the CRS firearms argument about the Serbu incident. And the reason that I did that was I just thought, hey, let's apply a principle of charity. Let's hear out maybe both sides of this argument. Initially, I was just going to do CRS firearms, but during the stream where I did it, because I'm going, hey, I'm not a ballistics expert. Like, I was in the Army and stuff, right? But I think everyone who knows in the industry, 8 years of Army Reserves, a deployment, that's not going to make you suddenly some gun expert, right? Like, you learn how to shoot a rifle, right? But like, you're not God's gift, right, to this stuff. So I'm like, I don't know how weapons manufacturing works at all. What I'm going to do is just assess the arguments as I hear them. And so I went through the argument. I'm like, okay, yeah, I think CRS is making a really specific statement, a really specific claim about an additional safety measure being possible to add. And I think that's defensible. And we went all the way through that. And then right at the end of his video, he puts his foot in the mouth and is like, yeah, so anyway, this ticking time bomb, yeah, why don't you sell it to unsuspecting people? Get rid of it while you still can. And I'm like, okay, now that's kind of, can we curse here?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's fucked up, right? Like, if you're saying that this gun is so unsafe, right?
I missed it.
if you're saying that it's so unsafe, why are you talking about selling it to people, right?
Yes.
And and like, why would you pawn it off to unsuspecting buyers if it's that kind of thing? And then later on, CRS, I think like a week later or so after that, he wound up like apologizing for that remark. I don't know if that's connected to me at all, but it was like, I went over while he was in live stream and I just said, hey, you know what? It takes some cojones to say you're wrong on the internet. You apologize for that remark, and good on you. Like, that's integrity, and that's what we all like to see. That's what we should be seeing more out of like our content creators, right? And
he gets a lot of crap from a lot of people. A lot of people don't like him, but he has a lot of integrity.
Yeah, and
he might say stuff that pisses people off or a way he says it, but he will admit when he's wrong. And he also doesn't rip me off. He gives me credit when he uses my stuff. Unlike other gun and god tubers.
Maybe I should just do something on that. I spent probably about 20 years of my life in like the Christian apologetics scene. Maybe I should just start going ham on those guys, because I've played both sides here. Like, I know the debate. Maybe I just start challenging the God side and making them mad. I don't know, but nothing's off limits. I don't try to be just guns. I try to like talk about ideas and stuff too, because I think that like intellectualism and being able to engage on different ideas matters for us. Like, the Second Amendment is not the only thing that's not all of our arguments for gun rights should be coming from the Second Amendment. There's other amendments that we have that grant legal rights. There's other like innate rights. I believe in innate rights. I think that there's plenty of arguments there, whether the Constitution acknowledged them or not. And yeah, like it's just like, hey, let's go ahead and talk about all of these different practical arguments or ethical arguments or whatever that get us closer to just seeing that, hey, live and let live, let people defend themselves, let people own the property they want to own. It's not hurting anybody. Like, just chill out. You
guys keep talking for 1 second. I forgot something.
All good. But yeah, that's kind of more or less where I'm coming from. I'm trying to get us in a place where we don't feel intimidated by knowledge, which is something I've been noticing. Like, I've been getting the sneaking suspicion that sometimes getting to new information or a new way of thinking about an old problem is really uncomfortable, right? And just throughout human history, I think that's been the case. So trying to do that here, I think that's probably what presents the most obstacle for me. But different strokes. Not everyone thinks about things the same way.
Yeah, well, I think if your beliefs are reasonable, they should stand a challenge. Just kind of circling back to the RN50 issue, like, I'm not a gun guy. I mean, I'm not a gun manufacturer. Have I put together AR-15s, which I think are Legos? Yeah. Have I 3D printed stuff? Yeah, but that doesn't make me, knowledgeable in ballistics or chamber pressures or anything like that. So that was one of the things I saw a lot of people doing commentary on. And I'm like, yeah, you're just kind of, trying to pull in the YouTube. It's clickbait. Yeah. Let's just say that.
I see Jason King out there, who is also another Discord member. And so rich. So like, Yeah, I agree with them. Anti-intellectualism is a huge issue, and I see that in my writing a lot. A lot of times when I talk to people, they're not really coming at it from it. They're coming at it from especially on people on the anti-gun side. They come at it from an emotional side instead of the intellectual side, and they can't. Like when I point out, I was like, well, okay, AR-15 should be banned. Well, how about bed sheets? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, you have twice as much of a chance of someone killing you with a bed sheet than with an AR.
Fists, hammers.
But, and they're like, well, bed sheets aren't dangerous. I'm like, well, they kill twice as then if you follow that line of thinking, then AR-15s are inherently not dangerous because they kill about half as many people a year as bed sheets.
Or actually, I think what is it? Slipping and falling and dying in your bathroom is more lethal than I think firearms. Period. It's up there.
Yeah, a lot
or swimming pools.
On average, 900 people a year get killed by bed sheets, which is blows my mind.
Which I think all long guns is 400 a year.
Yeah, it's usually I think last year was 389.
Well, and that's including homicides, right? That's all forms.
Yes,
that's all.
Suicides, homicides, everything.
Suicide, homicides, accidental shootings.
Justifiable.
Yeah.
Justifiable. Yeah. So that's everything.
But there's no justifiable killings with bed sheets that I'm aware of. Unless you're like the bedroom ninja.
Well, didn't Epstein die with the bed sheet? I think him dying was kind of.
Clear suicide. Hillary Clinton. I just want you to know I'm your biggest fan. Don't come after me, please. Don't suicide me.
Oh, and speaking of which, there was a great meme going around today. It was like Hillary Clinton in a classroom passing Fauci a note, and the note said, "I would have deleted all the emails."
Did you guys see the Reddit guy that went out there at that time and was like, hey, I work for, I think he said something like, I work for a government official that's pretty high up there for, like the State Department and stuff. Anyway, how do I delete all these emails from a server? Like we're about to get a warrant served. And it was like,
and then how do I use BleachBit?
You know what?
How do I use BleachBit?
I worked for the State Department, and during the time where she was Madam Secretary, and we weren't allowed to delete emails. We could archive them, but we couldn't delete them.
Well, all right. John and I both work in the IT field, and it's amazing how government emails that are to be preserved get deleted, and even the field I work in. I work in the medical field. I do IT for a medical institution, and all our emails are escrowed. There's a system. There's all sorts of regulation that requires that. I think I had a liberal tech friend tell me that, the IRS emails just disappeared. I'm like, so you're telling me that the sender, their laptop hard drive failed, the server's hard drives failed, the backup servers failed, and all of the recipients' hard drives failed, and that's coincidence.
It happens. Later on in the show, I will be giving away this awesome Optics Planets hat, and the goddamn Bacon will probably come in here and win it again because he freaking wins everything, dude. It's like totally random, Nightbot picks it randomly, and I think Nightbot has a crush on him or something. I've done experiments with Nightbot, where I follow up a bunch of bots and do a live stream that's not advertised just to see if it was broken and it was picking random people. I'm like, okay, so it's random people. Goddamn Bacon comes in, bam, wins.
That's cool for him.
Yeah, but people got to start thinking that we have some type of deal worked out.
The free hats,
man, free hats, dude. Well, I'm not the hat stealer like Rich, man.
I don't know why I'm getting this reputation of being a swag whore, but
because you came home with like 30 hats. I've never seen so many people with hats.
People just gave them to me. They were just giving them to me.
They were on tables, Rich. You picked. I was with you. You were picking them up, putting them in a bag.
I mean, anyone in marketing knows, right? Like you gotta sneak any swag for any event you're ever at, any event you ever so much as help put on. It's an obligatory tax that business pays you as the marketing employee or as a participant in that event. Or if you're there, you are entitled. I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution. You're entitled to guns, at least a T-shirt or a keychain or something.
Full auto, lunch, and dinner. Yes, all of that.
Yes, it's in the First Amendment. Look it up.
Speaking of which, John, you're going. What are you doing October 3rd?
That is a good question. There's actually 2 events on that day.
Yeah, I got an event the next weekend in Texas, so I'm going to be scarce at work if I go to both, and I definitely want to go to both.
Well, here's the thing. You know what? On the same day,
GOA Gunathon,
Knob Creek.
Knob Creek. Oh yeah, that's right.
Same exact day.
Huh.
How do you choose, man?
I'm not going to choose. I'm just going to say, where are you guys sending me?
No,
I mean,
I don't do the GOA repping.
Yeah, I don't pay for it. They just tell me where to go, and I just go. I'm like, all right, whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to end up going, or if I go at all. I know the week after that is what is that? Clash Bash.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be in Texas. Is it in Texas again?
At JFD Supply, I don't know which one I'm going to. Yeah. But the week after that, it's like mid-October is my anniversary, so I don't really go away. Although one year I did go to Comic-Con. My anniversary. The day before.
Did you go with your wife, or did you just leave her?
I went with my friends.
Did you dress up?
It was like our first anniversary. Well, the anniversary fell on Monday. She went to visit her family, so I
wait. Did she go to Sicily to visit her family?
No, in New York, in Long Island.
Okay.
So on the anniversary day, she came into the city, and then we celebrated in New York on our anniversary day. But the weekend, it was at Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con.
Was that at Javits? Where is that?
Javits Center, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Comic-Con. So, Walt, are you going to start going to stuff or not?
Oh, man. We've got just so much stuff here in California to not do right now. No, I haven't been super active in events just with COVID in the background and everything. I'm not immunocompromised. I do have some other medical issues. So just in the background, letting it ride. But I do want to start getting out to some events and everything. Travel for me right now out of the state's pretty difficult, but I think our God King Newsom is going to lift some of his edicts here pretty shortly. And after that, hopefully you start seeing more events go on and I can get more involved.
Well, the couch said you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I know he can eat wherever he wants.
Trust science. That's what I would tell him. I was like, trust science. During the whole COVID lockdown, you had to say lockdown, trust science. Trust science.
Yeah.
You're an idiot if you don't trust science. The science says, okay, you're allowed to go out. And then
I
people are like,
on that?
we don't trust science. What do you mean? You've been saying trust science for months, and now let's say you don't trust science once it says something. It's like, whatever.
Because trust science is fucking meaningless. What does that fucking mean?
It means if it agrees with you, then trust science.
Trust philosophy. What the fuck does that mean? There's the trust the scientific method. The entire point of the scientific method is to doubt it. That's the function and the purpose. God, like no, like it drives me up the wall. I think I had that old it's the you know, like on Facebook, okay? It's the I fucking love science page likers, okay? And you guys out there know who the fuck you are, okay?
I like that page.
But that logic on that page, go open any of the comments, right?
Well,
for
no, I don't
anything
read the
COVID.
comments. I don't read the
Right?
comments.
Just go through and it's, well, the scientists said, is that what trusting science means? Just trust the scientists? They don't agree with each other. Like the scientists are looking at each other like, fuck if I know, dude. Like that's what they're doing. They're trying to figure stuff out. Like it doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to say trust the science when the science points in 80 different directions on something because it doesn't have an answer yet.
I like how they like go, well, you know, Elon Musk is an idiot because he questions COVID. It's like, you're actually calling one of the smartest people on the face of the planet an idiot because he doesn't agree with you. Like the dude designed a rocket ship on a 9-hour plane flight that costs like 10%. He put internet everywhere up in space. It's like, I'm pretty sure he's pretty damn smart.
So I got a rule for people with degrees, with fancy degrees. I'll listen to what they say after they change the oil on my car and rotate the tires.
I got fancy degrees.
It's a good rule. Like, I mean, I think that there has to be some level of practical, right, that comes out of it that makes it worth listening to. Like right now, so just to give you some perspective in my college courses right now, I'm taking a course called metaphysics.
What the hell is that?
So like if metaphysics is like, how do we talk about what exists? Metaphysics is like, how do we talk if stuff exists or stuff exists ? Like the conversation is so abstract that it's like, look, the instructor's good. He's teaching the material well. Okay. Like no disrespect.
Those classes are easy.
Fucking useless.
It's like just drink the Kool-Aid.
It's like having, like at work sometimes, it's having meetings about having a meeting.
Right.
We have to have a meeting about having a meeting. It's like, why don't we just have a meeting? Why don't we have the meeting and just say, hey, this is the meeting, instead of having a meeting about scheduling a meeting? Right.
And there's a level here where it's like, hey, look, you're trying to work so far outside the box. Like you have to be, and I think like there's a conservative philosopher, Roger Scruton, who kind of pointed this out, but he's going, hey, look, we have this tendency in these ivory towers of academia, right, where people need to have their cute, unique solution to everything. And so the counterculture kind of becomes the culture paradoxically. You need to break everything that's been established, all of your traditions over time, and then you need to now come up with some weird outside the box solution that doesn't have the backing and doesn't work and breaks everything. And so you're creating problems that weren't there to solve them with some new idea that then just creates more problems instead of just solving the problems that were actually there to begin with. And it's like, well, no wonder people tune out, right? Like, you know, like what is that stuff going to do for you starting your car, going to work, right? Like, it's not going to do anything for you, you know? And so there's a certain level where we have to kind of reconnect with like practicality, right? And a lot of this stuff. And that's what drives me up the wall.
We have to reconnect with the idea that not everything is worth doing and not everything is worth money doing.
Good point. Did either of you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
42.
I saw the movie.
No, that doesn't count.
I know. I'm not a big fiction reader.
I don't know if it was the first book, but basically they sent everybody. Actually, they ended up on Earth in a microscopic space fleet. That was it. So they sent all the like less desirable people off this one planet, saying like, "Oh, you need to go and explore and save the world for us." And so one class of people that they sent on the spaceship off the planet because they thought they were useless were the phone sanitizers, and everybody that remained on the planet died of a disease they got from a dirty phone. And this is what I think about people like Fauci or whoever it may be. It's like, dude, if you put this guy in the middle of the woods, he would starve to death. These are people that have no skills other than what they got in college and that are useless in anything other than an academic arena. That they can't market themselves. They would not be able to change a tire. They would not be able to jumpstart a car. These are people that, as far as I'm concerned, are near useless.
Well, I had a friend that was an art major, and he says art makes life worth living, and that's why we deserve to have money. I said, well, become a great artist, and then you'll have money.
I do art. It's t-shirt art. That should
Yeah.
get rich.
No, I mean, there's value. There's value in aesthetics. Like, sure, like we like pretty stuff. Yeah, so go make pretty stuff, and if people think it's valuable, they'll buy it, right? And yeah, sure, we can talk about the issues. Like, I'm as critical of leftist stuff as I am right wing stuff. At the end of the day, the way I see it is just like, let's be, honest and engaging this stuff. Like, capitalism is a model that works, but it also disenfranchises people, right? And it's like, if you're that artist that got lied to and got told, hey, your art history degree is going to be so valuable, and you hit the market and it's not, that's tough, man. That sucks. But you got to play ball, right? You got to play with what you got. You can learn a trade. You can do whatever. You can let art be in part of your business, whatever you want to do. But you have to find a way to plug in that knowledge. I'm starting to meet a lot of people who never studied philosophy now in school, really, but are just reading it constantly and have been reading it for 2 decades, 3 decades. And I'm like, well, shit, they know more than I do, and I'm in school for the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, hey, look, we're not limited by just the academic system to get that education. Like, we can go out and self-educate now. It's 2021. We've had the internet for a minute. So it's like, why not encourage, picking up skills and picking up these things and these pursuits? Because the liberal arts have a place in understanding the world and whatever. We can do the humanities. That's fine. But it's just, at the end of the day, you still need to have a toilet flush. You need to have a car that drives. You need to have a job to go to. Right. With business people that understand the economy enough to make that work. So it's not wrong to maybe say, hey, the humanities are there for when everything's working out well. But when things don't, right, what do? We revert back to those more basic jobs and functions that we need as a species, as humans, right, to survive, and to thrive. So I think it's just we all have to kind of know a bit of a place in life and see where the context where these things are coming from, right?
Well, that's what is the formula for a civil society? How many people have to be barbarians and how many people have to be civilized for us to have a civil society?
Civil society is a illusion.
It's an illusion until it's uncivil, right? It's my fact until it gets broken.
The natural state of the universe is a state of entropy.
Yes. And the entropy of the universe is increasing, so we're all screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question to answer because no matter how we do it, I don't think that there's a serviceable answer right now. Frankly, we can look at social contract theory, right? We got our Constitution out of it, right? Fantastic philosophy there, really well developed. And it's going to say, hey, look, we have this whole natural law concept. And from natural law, we're going to find, inalienable rights and we're going to, find a reason, a justification for government. And we'll go from there that government has to advocate certain interests, But then we start to press that social contract into other places, right? Well, these people in this country over here aren't part of our social contract. Can I just take their stuff? Why not? They're not part of it, right? Or, well, I think the social contract should be this because I would will that everybody else do this. Oh, okay. So the rights aren't really based in, some universal right. It's just based in what your desires are, right? So you think everyone should behave this way. So everyone should disagree with you. Well, why is that acceptable, right? And we can start to see.
Do you think we should be Mirandizing people in Iraq?
Well, right. It's not our place to do that. I mean, if I had it my way, I'm pretty isolationist. I would be like, let's stay the hell out of these, these things. Let's not just fold for whatever corporate interest wants us deployed or whatever politician needs to have a war up under them just so that they can get reelected. Let's keep the troops home.
Yeah, that kind of your same concept on art. Art's great. When all sorts of crap's working right, we can enjoy art. And I feel the same way about giving money to other countries. When all the crap is fixed here, then we can be generous with other countries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we give financial aid to China.
They don't need it. They don't need it. Like we have failing infrastructure here. You know, we have all kinds of stuff that's broken here. We have you know, like our healthcare systems are broken. Our roads and bridges and dams and levees are broken. We'll bail out corporations instead of letting the free market ride, even despite how much they cry free market all the time. Well, until they fail, until a bank fails, until a mortgage industry fails.
Too big to fail.
Right. And now suddenly capitalism's not okay. Now suddenly, you know, socialism, but for the corporations, that's great.
Right.
Well, it's like, can we pick one? You know, like, can we find a reasonable middle ground where we, you know, protect the interests of the citizen? And I think that's something that we can point to, whether we're left or right. Like everyone can point to that and be like, hey, I think something is going wrong here. If we're bailing them out, but we're not willing to bail out you, the American citizen.
Well, here's the thing. When people say capitalism failed and that's what happened in 2008, I don't think it was capitalism that failed. It maybe crony capitalism.
Sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
It wasn't like it wasn't a true free market system that failed.
Yeah, I think that's defensible, and I think that's totally fair, and I think that's kind of the failure of neoliberalism specifically, where we started to introduce a lot more of this like corporate welfare as under the guise of freer markets. Well, freer markets by having the government buffer for corporations, right? And I think, now all we're doing is just applying the socialism that in every other country would ideally be going to the people, and socialism has its problems too. I don't think I need to get into that, right? But we're going to apply that to government bailouts when your industry fails, and because guess what, you get us elected, right, every time, and I think there's something wrong with that. But I mean, I think that kind of infects a lot of our politics today. I dropped a video on that. You know, if you want to rage at me for being the guy that talked about the good things Marx said. I do have a video on that on my channel with a big fat Marx thumbnail there, where I kind of rail on that for a minute. But that's probably the most controversial thing I think I've ever said. It was like, Karl Marx got some things right about capitalism.
I don't like Karl Marx.
Most people don't.
I like Groucho. Groucho's pretty cool.
Groucho is much more funny. That's fair.
Yeah, it's a really weird world we live in right now. It seemed like there's almost like a caste system that exists now. Not that it can't be broken. I know, like in other, like in India, for example, you're not breaking through the caste system. But it seems like once you get to a certain level of richness, you don't go back. You just stay there. Look at like all the people who like went broke, but yet they, like Floyd Mayweather, right, went broke, but he still had his private jets and his Ferraris and his Lamborghinis. Like, that dude's not bankrupt. What the hell are you talking about? If that's bankrupt, man, sign me up.
Yeah, and I think that the caste system that we kind of see, I do think it's real, but I don't think it's completely insurmountable. And I think that's where I think like the left kind of gets it wrong, right? So like we'll see a lot of the actual, like I try to separate too the American political left from like these leftist ideologies like Marxism, because like I don't feel comfortable saying Nancy Pelosi's a Marxist. I think America would probably be better for it if she was, because she would actually give a shit about the people, at least, and at least there could be some healthy thing in her motives there. But she doesn't. She cares about her paycheck and her bottom line. But I think that like if we were to look at the genuine leftist ideologies out there, where we have you have the guys, the have-nots and the haves. Well, Rousseau was talking about that in the Social Contract. Like we were looking at that as an issue for our society, as an issue when we were formulating the Constitution. Like that was in one of the works that inspired it.
I think G-Web is going after people who shoot 9mm. What the hell, G-Webs? I thought we were friends. What's your definition of a valid caliber?
A valid caliber. I think one that works.
Oh,
I is it reliable? Does it work for you? Great, it's valid. That's all the validity it needs. I don't think the caliber gives a damn about how valid it is when it hits the target. So if it's working, it's working.
You know, I have a 22 caliber air gun. That thing is awesome.
Now, can you get a suppressor for a 22 caliber air rifle without going NFA?
Yeah, you have to. It's okay. It can't be removable.
Oh, okay. So that's like the 50 cal black powder suppressed gun. Who was selling that? Was it Thompson Center?
Oh no, I don't think it was Thompson Center. Who was selling that? Oh, it was Maxim.
It was Max.
Yeah. It was Maxim. Yeah, but yeah, so it has to be attached, like be integral to the gun. What Silencer Co. Yeah, it was Silencer Co. I knew it was a Silencer company. Space Texan wants to know how you identify politically.
That's a good question because I have people on all kinds of social media platforms that have called me a Marxist, a leftist. I've been called a Trump supporter, full MAGA, fascist. So I think that means I'm somewhere in between, which is probably a good sign. It's a good start. But yeah, if I had to answer that question, I think the best way to say it would be somewhere around, like, I believe in a minimally sized government. I do believe some little bits of socialism here and there are okay, as long as we're very limiting with that. I think it's I'm definitely on the libertarian side of the compass, of the political compass. I'm very anti-authoritarian, so probably somewhere between like.
So you're Antifa.
I think if we were generous to that term as anti-fascist, I would hope that anyone with Sic Semper Tyrannis or Don't Tread on Me is anti-fascist, right?
Yeah, but that's not what Antifa's
but that's
about.
that's not what. Yeah, like when we're talking about the modern conception of Antifa, right? We're seeing like a completely different kind of thing occur, right?
Yeah, we're seeing the split in the Italian Socialist Party in like the 20s.
Yeah. And so like when I say socialism or when I say liberalism and stuff, I'm thinking from like my, philosophy education. I'm not thinking in like translating that to American terms. If you had to say that, it would be probably like classically liberal, the go-to of YouTubers to say. But I do believe that like, hey, it could be cool if the government was willing to pay for a little bit of healthcare. It would be cool if like programs like Section 8 housing can be helpful. There's some things here that we do want in order to maintain the society and standard of living that we want, that we're okay with, like public education. For better or worse, those models are what the American people have decided. And I think that's okay that they've decided that. And I think if they want to change their minds, they can. But I also don't want to expand the roles or power of government beyond anything that is essential, because I think it's very clear that if we were to socialize literally everything, right, that would not end well for us as the American people. So I kind of take like a mixed view. I'm left of center by American political standards, definitely not by worldwide standards. So I would be like, if you're looking at that political compass, I'm pretty down there. I'm almost to anarchy, and I'm just a little to the right.
In the UK?
So yeah, if you were looking at like a UK kind of perspective, I would be like just right of center, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like a European perspective, kind of broadly, I'm a little right of center and very anti-authoritarian.
Yeah. Although the right is rising in Europe, and that's because the failures of the left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go back to just learning lessons from history. Like we can say it's okay to say that democracy has failures when we look at situations like World War II Germany, and we see what was it, like 93% of the population electing one party leader that kind of escalated things, right? And we can also say, hey,
I
look,
like kind of escalated things.
just maybe escalated that situation just a little bit, right? And we can also look at the USSR and say, hey, you know what? Maybe your communism needs to wait until we have a perfect world, you know? Like it doesn't seem to work when you throw in an authoritarian dictator, and maybe we can say that like exterminating and forcing out all your kulaks, right? Your middle class business owners, maybe that wasn't the smartest play, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we can learn lessons from both without dismissing either idea, right? And that's like more or less where I'd like to see us go. And that's why I really like intellectual conservatives, because I think they offer a lot. They bring a lot to the table. They learn lessons from history, and they're willing to make progress to make things better. And I think that's what we should all be kind of looking at when we're looking at politics in the states of affairs. So I like it. So you could call me an empirical conservative, but then also a liberal in the same kind of sense. Both of those terms kind of appealing to different things. So I believe adamantly in like personal liberty. I'm for a repeal of the NFA. I think our Fourth Amendment's been trampled, to dust. Thank God for Caniglia v. Strom, but in that outcome. But yeah, like I want the people to be free, and I think that's what people on the left in good faith are trying to do. I think the problem is not the Democrat Party. I want to be clear, like the actual like leftist thinkers. I think they're trying to do that just a different way, and I think they're reductive in how they go about that a lot. But I also think that the right, like the political right, it can be reductive and focus on the wrong things too at times. So I think like we need to have more of a holistic approach overall. I said a whole lot there.
You did.
Yeah, I don't want to word salad, but
is throwing your channel up there. It's also linked in the description. Jason King brings up a good point. China claims that they're a democracy.
Yeah,
and also so does North Korea.
Yep. Yeah.
And Cuba.
Sure, they all get elected free and fair, just like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, all these places claim that they're a democracy, but anybody who puts Democratic Republic in their name is usually not a republic and not democratic.
Right. Like
well,
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say. Go ahead. You first.
That's like when equipment says, when you get a camera, a video camera, still camera, and it says professional on the side, it's not.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like Kim Jong-un's approval rating when it falls to 110%, record low, as the Onion said. Like when we see that, we can clearly say something's wrong. Right?
His dad claimed to have invented the hamburger.
I mean, shit, man. I don't know. It's the North Korean government. They're clearly trustworthy. So clearly.
Yeah, I used to read translated articles from North Korea. They're so funny, and they talked about like Kim Jong-il like playing golf and got 18 holes in one. He invented the hamburger. He was actually running the North Korean soccer team via invisible phone.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like, and these people actually believe this crap. But then I'm like, yeah, people believe anything.
They're deities, you know that, and Kim Jong-un will come and do your job for you. And the reason he eats just as much food as everybody else in Korea, it's just that
he doesn't shit.
He's much more efficient. His body's so much more efficient.
That's why he looks like a freaking watermelon.
Yeah. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, yes.
Well, it's keeping in all the moisture, like the water, right? Because you need to be hydrated, and it's just you may not like it, but that is what peak performance looks like. I think he's also the only one in North Korea with a Steam account, if memory serves. And then I think also, like I'm trying to remember. I think there was a Freedom Village or something that they have there right across the South Korean border, like across the DMZ. I think they're blasting propaganda over, trying to sucker South Koreans in.
Dude, they have all the buildings. They have watched a documentary in it. All the buildings are like hollow, and like no one lives there. They just built the outside shells, and they have like actors just walk around all day.
Wow.
It's look up Propaganda Village. It's insane.
It's actually what I did for the Army. I was in psychological operations, 37 Fox.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, it was so fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to be a super nerd on making, the U.S. Army can't make propaganda. We make media products. So everything else everyone else makes is propaganda. So there, by definition,
Kim Jong
according to the Army.
Is on P90X. Yeah, I watched there's a channel called Things They Don't Want You to Know, and they have an episode called the Entertainment Complex. And it's really interesting. And if you guys want to look up something really cool about South and North Korea, look up Operation Paul Bunyan. We almost went to war over a tree.
Oh, no.
You've never heard about that?
That's the best. That sounds like our foreign policy. I think our foreign policy is fuck. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that's like what the policy is.
They went down to cut down a tree in the DMZ. Well, apparently this tree was supposed to be a tree that Kim Jong, the original Kim, planted. Kim Jong Un. Well,
so 3 generations back.
Yeah, planted. So they started shooting at each other, and people died over a freaking tree.
Oh my gosh! Well, the North Korean calendar starts with the birth of Kim Jong whatever.
The song or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I jump on that question from Jason King?
Sure. What was the question?
It says, so what's the difference between communism and feudalism? Because I really don't see a difference.
Yeah. You should be in the Discord with these two guys.
Oh yeah. I think Jason and I went at it in the Discord for a second there, but yeah, I would say the difference is the communists would actually say, what's the difference between feudalism and capitalism? Because you wind up getting these caste systems, right? So the communists would say, I'm trying to abolish this caste system entirely. And this is where I think things start to go wrong, because the communist thinkers out there would say, well, I can't get rid of all hierarchy. We're all differently abled. We have different natural abilities, right? I can't get rid of that. But what I can get rid of is, how we think of conventional family structures. I can get rid of things like, how we perceive gender. I can get rid of things like how we have these economic separations. What we need is a post-scarcity world. So there's no finite resources. Everybody has what they want. You have an excess surplus of time on your hands, because time's the one thing you won't get back. So you can go about doing whatever you want in your life. I'm like, this sounds like a utopia. You can be whatever you want to be. Your family can be whatever you want to be. That's pretty free. That's pretty liberating. A problem with that, there's only so much shit here on the earth that we can do something with. So, like the Marxist critiques of capitalism could be 100% right. That doesn't change at all, right? That we have a finite amount of resources on earth, and we can only do so much shit with it. So people that are good at extracting things out of those resources, right, which they call exploitation. If you're good at exploiting resources, getting things out of it, then these, and we're going to trade it. We're going to build an economy. And at that point, guess what? You have capitalism anyway. So what are you going to do? And I think this is why communism kind of lost the debate in the West. Like, I think that's ultimately why. Because it's like, at a practical level, it's like, sure, when we're in Star Trek land and we have a replicator, we can push a button, we can revisit communism then.
Yes.
Until then, not gonna work.
I want a replicator. That'd be
me too.
Cool.
I like, especially for like Polymer 80s right now.
Dude, I'll just like replicate Glock all day. Be like, Glock for you, Glock for you. Well, I'll have a replicator just running around the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for 3D printing. Like, I think 3D printing invalidates so much gun control. I think it's one of the best things to hit the industry. And despite all my criticisms of the industry and such, like, I think it's so good for it because, hey, a gun in every home because you can fucking print one. Great.
All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad I got you on here. Everyone can go to crumpy.com and see my latest stuff. My new story is breaking next week. Support me on Patreon, patreon.com/John Crump. I gotta pay this bum here, Rich. I was just joking. I pay him the equivalent of like probably 15 cents or so. I don't know what Tusk gives now.
Multi-millionaire with Tusk.
Multi-millionaire Tusk, yeah. All right, I'm gonna kick it over to Rich, and then I'm gonna give you the final word, Walt. So go ahead.
So you
Rich.
can follow me at flyingrich.com. Instagram, it's flyingrich_official, and youtube.com/flyingrich. And of course, you can get the Squadron t-shirts at blackswantactical.com.
Yeah, yeah. The squadron was alive and well in Hank's channel last night.
So, John, are you a Squadron member?
Hell no. I ain't getting tased.
No Squadron member was tased. A Squadron member was doing the tasing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna wear a squadron shirt saying I follow Rich everywhere. It's not gonna happen. They're all proud of it.
Oh man. Well, shit. YouTube.com/Walt Anderson Show. You can check me out. Fuck tyranny. Fuck oppression. Let's do something about it. Now let's get the power back to the people, man.
I missed it again. Damn it.
Let's get an intellectual right engaged with an intellectual left. Let's make society better. Let's do that.
Hold on. I forgot to do something, you know. Here we go. Ready? Let's see who wins the hat. Win the hat. Okay, anytime now, Nightbot. What the hell, Nightbot? Probably gonna.
Did I win? Did I win the hat?
I don't know who won the hat. It's just
Because
not.
I'm running short on hats.
Dude, you have so many hats that. I think it's contest, right?
I'm gonna have to give stuff away.
All right. I don't want to have to if I win the roll again. All right, I'm just gonna pick somebody random because freaking Nightbot is out. Jason, you already won the Space Texan. You already won something. DJ Play Nice, send me your address. You win a hat.
Let's go.
And
DJ's an unsung two-way hero.
Yeah, hit me up on hit me up on Discord, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're done for this week. I got an episode. I forgot to put out the audio version of yesterday's show today, so I'm going to put it out tomorrow. And then this episode will come out on Saturday on the audio only version on any podcast platform that you want. All right, my name is John Crump, and with that, we are out of here. If I can hit the right button.